Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ahdurin region. I'm your host, Ahdurin himself. I forgot what show I was on for a second. Welcome to the Ahdurin region. I'm your host, Ahdurin himself. Welcome back to another episode of the Ace Attorney series. If you've got no idea who this gentleman is on your screen right now with a knife shaving his beard, mad respect to that, but as a person with a beard, I know that would be terrifying for me to do. If you want to know who this person is, you can check the playlist down in the description. Previous episodes, like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things. So last time we were talking to peoples, and things are interesting. This time we're going to continue talking to people. I know, dramatic, but we're just going to get into it. Let's talk more to this individual about the victim. There's something I wanted to ask you. The scene of the crime, the cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. I don't know why his voice is dramatically shifting around. I only just recorded the last episode a couple days ago, but apparently we're just floating on the river. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment. I feel like his voice isn't going to be like as raspy as that. He's asleep, or maybe it is. I don't know. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest, maybe? All right, if I say Marshall, I presume nothing's going to happen here either. There's something I wanted to ask you. He says the same thing again. Oh, I remember, right? Because Gumshoe said, hey, we got some stuff for you. I presume that's a letter of introduction here. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you. Fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? That old cow dog? You holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Well, that's joyful. I think you just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe, better than a blood test. That's probably true, yeah. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? That's a good point. They were talking about how this case was really high caliber stuff, and they have a random patrolman, at least an interesting patrolman, but a random patrolman guarding this sort of stuff. Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. I don't know if manifest destiny is exactly the thing you want to quote here, but sure. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. I hate to be that guy, but manifest destiny wasn't exactly ideal in terms of concept. Anyway, we can push that aside. That's not a conversation for here. Anyway, well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say, this letter of invitation, no longer necessary. And we just threw it away. I wonder if, when they say things like this, you don't really toss items. It's usually like stored, or someone like Maya will take it and just like, we're going to put this away. Here, we crumpled and discarded. So part of me is like, what if Phoenix just crumpled this paper up and just dropped it on the ground? Anyway, now that we can talk to you, let's talk to you. You know, how that works. Anyway, the victim, as we were mentioning previously. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. That's a good sign. Now I'm doing some self-reflecting and am deciding not to touch this topic anymore. Could you be a little more specific? Yes, more details would be very nice. Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there? Now, Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. He means a witness was Angel Starr. One stab to the chest. A fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Goodman's autopsy report was added to the court record. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prospector Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. That's interesting. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive. Interesting. Quick, Emma, write that down. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prospector. I've just noticed he's been saying chief prospector instead of prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot? So it seems, by calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. That's a good sign. That's ideal. Well. Okay, so I don't mean to be any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. I don't think they would shoot me for that in Texas, but sure. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambita? She just repeated my question. You know what? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. Keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. I agree, that is odd. Gumshoe's just sitting around doing nothing. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of the chief of police. Guess he don't realize it yet. The chief of police doesn't quite like Gumshoe. Intriguing. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation. Well, that's interesting. Alright, based on how this game works, it doesn't seem like there's been anything. Can we show him something else? Here's my attorney's badge. What do you say? I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star, shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. Emma, are you gonna... I don't want to suggest it. We're just gonna pretend. Wait a minute, that's a sheriff's badge. Alright, let's see. I don't know if any of this is actually... I guess we could show the other stuff. Let's see. What's that? Some sort of police passport? Oh, this is actual line. This is Detective not Gumshoe's, Detective Goodman ID's card. Strangely enough, we found a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole. If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas? This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. Emma, that's not going to work in every situation. There's no better way to study than hang out with the pros. Again, there's no... Never mind. I don't think that's going to particularly help, but sure. Ah, a toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? Toy knife, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these. Let me guess. You gonna have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over, save some cost. Respect. Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. There we go, Emma. Those are the notes that we want as a defense attorney. You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every year passing year, I tell you. Well, this isn't helping us with the case, but it is certainly providing information. All right, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me never to visit Texas unless I get this accent. 5:12 p.m. Prospector's bright red steed came in at a trot, real slow like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Intriguing. I want to know what he says about the blue badger. Nope, it's the default option. And then the autopsy report. Can you give any additional information? Nope. You're just gonna say the same thing. All right. That seems to be everything here. I don't think there's a section we can move to. So that must mean there's got to be something we can check out. I don't know if there's anything here that's new, at least. The door. Okay, some of this. Some of this I remember from the last time we discussed it. Is there anything on the other? That looks familiar. Oh, and we tried to click on this, I think, last time, but it didn't work. Because we got interrupted by Marshall here, I think. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's scientific about that? I mean, should we check it out? Might as well check it out. I mean, why not? Right, let's check it out. Oh, I'm not even clicking this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out. Guess not. Okay. What I do know is that maybe it's just based on how my computer works. This is gonna run a bit slow, so I apologize for the wonky volume and or like weird glitchy effects if it does. But when we switch to this, like actually using the DS, it doesn't seem to work as well. But let's check this out. I don't think there's anything. We could probably zoom in a bit. Let's just zoom in all the way. There's no point in... Are we able to open it? Let's click examine, I guess. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. I have a friend that would be very interested in that. See, the series is popular as ever with the kids. Alright, so it looks like the strap itself doesn't help us too much. Ah, here we go. There's a button there, it seems? Oh, that opens the phone, I guess. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Yeah, I'm a fan of the brick. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Haha, joke's on you. I have a cell phone. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. How old do you think... Me speaking as Phoenix. Actually, I think Phoenix and I are probably around the same age. I'm like 4 or 5 years older than you. Come on, man. You never know with people from your generation. Imagine talking to someone that's like 4 grades above you and being like, yo, your generation was wild. Back in my day, we didn't do any of the wild things you did. You know, just anyway. Whatever. Let's just check this phone out. I assume we're gonna click the button now, I guess. Yeah, I think we're just gonna click this and redial. See who we talking to. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self: a defense attorney doesn't think first; he just pushes the button. Do we have time, Emma? Hey. Wait, no, this is me. Hey, that song. I know that. Hey, what's going on there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. Drat. What? It's my sister's. Double drat. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but Someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number. Phoenix. Phoenix. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh. I've been cited of the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Okay. Well, we've got a shot here. Might as well check the car out. See what's up with this. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 6-S or 6-7S 12-2. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so? What does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self. For deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. Emma, do you want help or not? Mr. Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either, but unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure about that. Can we, well, we can. There's more things to talk about. Let us talk. I'm gonna stare at him while or actually move to him. Lana Sky, what's up with that? So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. Oh, and the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambita. Many condolences. You know, I hate to put this out, but Edgeworth has a couple of losses on his belt, and that's due to moi. So, we good. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina. How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... There's something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about. I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here. But who? The office atmosphere. Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. Thanks, I appreciate it. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors that we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person. Now, who might that be? I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky. Oh, boy. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What you're saying, Edgeworth was making deals to win trial? What would that do? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. It's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Now, is that why Detective Gumshoe was taking off the case? You targeted him because he was closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? Guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana's confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. By the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? A popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. Ooh! Phoenix duping me, okay. 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Well, now I have new information that Phoenix doesn't have. The detective is murdered, and the suspect is the town prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Find out what happens next time on Dragon Ball Z. had a feeling this was going to be a to be continued situation. Huh. That is where we are going to end this episode. Tomorrow, we go to trial, if I'm not mistaken. That's generally how these stories work. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, watching, and supporting the Ahdurin region in any way, shape, or form that you do. Until next time, take care.